Hey guys, I'm Becky and welcome back to another reading vlog. This reading vlog is happening a little bit later than I intended. I wanted to have already started this reading vlog because I wanted to have already started the main book of this reading vlog. So that book is in this beautiful book bow book sleeve. It's a big book. Can you guess what it is? Maybe you can. I don't know what I'm using for the thumbnail yet, so maybe I'm going to use a picture of this book. But that book is Crescent City #2, House of Sky and Breath. I needed to double check that I do in fact know the title of this. He's big. He is a very large book. He is just over 800 pages, and I'm ready to read this. Yes, this is the main book that I'm going to be reading. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know if I'm going to have to drag this out to March at this point. Today is, I should probably tell you what today is. Today is Saturday, February 19th. It's 12:51, so it's really Friday night. But yeah, we have a week and a couple days left of February, so I don't know if this is going to get done because there are many, many other books I would love to also read this month, but there are at least 4 other books that I would want to try and read. And there's one that definitely has to happen. So, I don't know. But this is definitely what I'm picking up right now. This is what I will be reading at least till Tuesday, because I do need to read my book club book. And then there are at least 2 other books, which is the 3rd book in the Brown Sisters series by Talia Hibbert, and I would also like to read The Bad Boy and the Tomboy. And I also really need to read Bunny for Katie Coulson's Patreon book club. But yeah, so back to Crescent City 2. I'm very excited about this book. I was hoping that I could start this on release day. However, I got a stomach bug the night before release day, so I didn't end up going to work on Tuesday. This was delivered to work on Tuesday, so I wasn't able to physically pick it up until Wednesday. And then I was like finishing some other books that I'd already started. For some reason kind of putting it off because I wanted to be like in the right headspace, ready to start this book. So yeah, I haven't started it yet. I was hoping that I would start it Tuesday and be finishing it by the end of this week so that I could definitely fit this in by the end of the month and still have time to read all the other books I want to read. So it may or may not happen, and that's okay. But I am going to start it. I technically have already started it. I am on page 6. So far I'm really, really liking it. Before we go any further, I do want to preface that I will not be spoiling anything for this book. This is not a spoiler vlog. I will not spoil anything. I will be very vague about things. I will give like chapter numbers or page numbers. So just know that going forward. Yeah, I am super excited to get into this book. I have been so patiently awaiting this book's release. So far, the 6 pages I've read have been really, really good. It's a character that I don't believe we've ever met. I have no recollection of her, so I'm assuming she's new. But so far, it's really, really good. So I'm very excited to get back into it. I am so happy to have another Sarah J. Maas book to be picking up because I absolutely love her. And I'm just so interested to see, like, having now completed my Throne of Glass journey of reading those books for the first time, to see how a very, very teeny tiny detail can be brought up in book 1 and it is brought up again and fleshed out and a super huge deal in book 7. To see that play out so many times in her books of like characters coming up, you know, little tiny details mentioned once that are a huge deal, stuff like that. I can only imagine what's going to happen with these books, where these are ginormous books where there's no way that you can keep everything straight and all the little details. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen in this one, what's going to happen in future ones. And I swear to God, if Sarah J. Maas tries to throw a faux love interest, like if Hunt is not endgame, I will be extremely, extremely upset. Because I still can't get over Kale. I mean, I'm glad. She gave us a good reason not to like him. But like, you fooled me once with Tamlin, and then you fooled me 2 times with Kale, so I don't want to be a 3rd fool, you know? But okay, I am going to go get in bed. I don't have the ebook of this, so I'm hoping that a reading light doesn't hurt my eyes and head too much so that I can read a good chunk of this. Not like a good chunk, because I definitely want to go to bed not too crazy late tonight, but I'm hoping to get some reading done. So I don't know when I'm going to update you. It might not be until like Saturday night or even later than that, but yeah. So I'm going to go get to reading. Check in soon. Hello. It has been a minute since I last updated you. It's been a while. Let's talk about what's been going on. Number one, stuff with work has been very busy. I am not ready to tell you guys yet, but something is happening at work and I'm very excited about it, and I want to wait until everything is official and then I will tell you. So hopefully in the next vlog I will have something to say. I have been doing a lot of reading. Not as much as I would have liked, but definitely reading. So let's talk about it. Number one, I have started House of Sky and Breath. It is really good so far. I'm just over 200 pages, so definitely not where I want to be. I'm hoping to get it done before the end of the month. By the way, it's the 24th, but we'll see. I only have 4 days left of the month, so it could happen. But it's okay if it takes after the 28th. But so far what I've read of that, I'm really, really enjoying. It's really good. So far, I definitely feel like I like it more than book one, just because book one had a lot of like learning the world, learning how things work, learning about the magic, learning about the paranormal creatures and all that stuff. Whereas this one, like, we know all that, so we're just jumping right into the action, and there's a lot of stuff going on. So I am really, really liking it so far. Then, actually, let me pull out my phone so I can tell you guys exactly what I've been reading, because I have finished a book and I'm almost done with the book as well. Oh wait, actually I finished 2 books. Yes, totally forgot about the other one. So the first one, lately on Instagram, all of the like sponsored stories in between watching all the people I follow has been a whole lot of like Kindle Unlimited sponsored ads. And I have been finding some very interesting things that I have added to my TBR, but one of them I have actually read, and it was excellent. So it is Crowned Crows of Thorn Point by Veronica Eden. It is book 1 in a trilogy, I believe. And this is definitely a dark romance. It is, let me see if Goodreads has the trigger warnings. Okay, so it says, it's a new adult, enemies to lovers, college romantic suspense intended for mature readers. It is the first of the Crowned Crow series, following a gritty brotherhood of anti-hero bad boys and the feisty heroines that capture their hearts. The plot continues across the next novels, and in each book in the series should be read in order. If you're not a fan of morally bankrupt book boyfriends, steer clear. This mature new adult romance contains dubious situations, crude language, and intense sexual/violent content that some readers might find triggering or offensive. Please proceed with caution. So it's definitely steamy. How to explain it? So it's basically like, it's this school, it's a college that is like a private college. You either go there on scholarship or by having an extremely wealthy family. Most of the people there are legacy kids, so people whose, fathers and mothers many generations back have gone here. And these boys that we follow, they're part of this like basically underground kind of mafia. There are 4 of them. And they have decided to like turn their backs on their family's money and make their own money, and it's in like dubious ways, like underground fighting rings, gambling. I don't think that they're into drugs, but they also like take care of bad people, and sometimes it is just like ruining their reputation, taking down people in like a legal sense, but sometimes it's murdering. It is murdering. So it is violent in that way. On top of that, so I've only read book 1, and there's definitely like a very big like alpha hole, if you know what I mean. That's a Crescent City term. So like, he thinks that he's like top dog. He's got to like teach her to respect him. That kind of like bedroom stuff, but it's 100% totally consensual. Like there's nothing that like she's not into. So it's not the most feminist of books, but at the same time it is because she is super into that. Like, she's very into it, so it's totally cool. Like, there's definitely no like blurred lines happening here. So yeah, it was so good. I was so addicted to this story. 5 out of 5 stars, obviously, and I definitely plan on reading more. Then the other book that I read is The Bad Boy and the Tomboy by Nicole, I think it's Nawasu. This was a book that I got from Edelweiss a long time ago, and I'm finally picking it up. This is a YA romance about a girl who is the captain of the boys soccer team in her high school because there's no girl soccer team, and her finally going out with her crush and finding out that she may have feelings for his cousin instead. So I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it, but it does have a trope that I do not like, and that is the cheating trope. I will say that this book did it in a way that wasn't so cringy for me, but otherwise it was really good. I also really liked that this wasn't like a boyfriend who she was like, we're in love with each other, and they were like super into each other, and then all of a sudden she meets his hot cousin and she's like, actually I don't love you anymore. So there was also that too. So yeah, it would have got 5 out of 5 stars if it didn't have the cheating trope, maybe. But that definitely knocked off a star. Like, it was a hard 4 for me. So now I am reading Crescent City 2, but I have also started, and I'm almost done with, I think I'm like 70% into Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry by Joya Joffney. This is my book club pick. Book club is on Monday. Today is Thursday, so we gotta get it done. But so far I'm really liking it. At first, I wasn't feeling it. So our main character is very rich, and not so much spoiled in the sense of like she knows she's spoiled, she feels entitled to things, but she definitely has a Hillary Banks vibe from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and one of the characters even ends up calling her Hillary when he first comes to her house and realizes how much money her parents have. So I wasn't really feeling her at the beginning, but the more that I got to know her, and I think like that's the point, because it's the same way with the love interest. Like, he thinks that she is this like really rich, probably spoiled, snotty girl, and then as he learns more about her, he finds out that that's not really who she is, and that she really does have a good heart. So I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm really liking it, and it's definitely bringing up some harder topics. So the plot of this is that our main character has a notebook where she writes all these lists. Some of them are just like to-do lists, some of them are like her favorite movies to rewatch. Some of them are like her favorite coffees to have at this coffee place, from like best to meh. And then some of them are like times that she's ugly cried, boys that she's kissed, fuck, marry, kill lists, you know, things that she wouldn't want people to read, but it's just like her way of like getting it out of her brain and processing her emotions is to make these lists, and it goes missing. So it's kind of like a To All the Boys I Loved Before, but with a lot of talk of racial issues, because both of our main characters, Quinn and Carter, are both black, and they are 2 of like 5 black kids at their super rich school. So there is a lot of talks about like having to deal with things, people saying inappropriate things in front of you because like you're not really black. And stuff like that. So it's definitely interesting. It's bringing up a lot of topics, and I'm just having a really good time so far. It's a really good book, and I honestly, when I started it, didn't think that I would end up liking it this much just because I wasn't really vibing with Quinn, but now I really like her. She's gotten herself into some very tricky situations, but it's definitely interesting to see her like grow and learn from these things, and to also still have her support system. And I really like her support system. It's a really good found family. So yeah, my plan is to finish that, to hopefully finish Crescent City, and I still need to read Bunny. And I think that that is everything that I'm like really prioritizing to get done. I'm gonna get in bed, I'm gonna read, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Good morning. It's definitely the afternoon, since it's my first day off this week, so I slept in a lot, but it's morning to me, so hello. As you can tell, just got out of the shower. My plan is to get a lot done today. reading, but mostly chores. So last night I did finish Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry by Joya Joffney, and I think I'm gonna give this book 5 out of 5 stars. Like, when I think about it just vaguely, I want to give it 4 stars, but when I really think about everything that happened in the book and how hooked I was, I mean, I read the book in a day. It's not that long of a book, but still, I read it an entire day. I could not stop reading it. And the fact that I really enjoyed the found family. I really like the conflicts it brings up. And I also really like how mature our main character was. Because there are some issues with some past friends that were really, really mature. I will say that there is a character who she thinks she's in love with at the beginning. And by the end of the book, they're like basically no longer friends when they were pretty much best friends. So that was the only thing that was a little strange, is like they never started hanging out again or had a discussion. So that was kind of strange, but yeah. And then there is kind of a cliffhanger at the end, and I don't think this book is going to have I don't think this is going to become a series or a duology. So it was really interesting to see that kind of cliffhanger of like, I want to know what the last item on the list is, and to never find out. Interesting. So I don't know if we're going to get like a future book from maybe Carter's point of view, or if that's just it and you're supposed to just live with the unknown. So then I decided to pick up another book last night while I was playing games on my phone, and that is Bunny by Mona Awad. I'm about 80 pages into it. It's definitely strange, like everyone has said. I don't know how I feel about it yet, and I feel like I'm not really going to understand anything or have any theories about this book until it's over. There's just so much chaos so far. Like, everything is kind of weird. Everything is weird, and I know that that's how it's supposed to be, which is why it's so polarizing. Like, some people really, really love this book, and some people absolutely do not understand it. And so far, I'm definitely the not understanding at all. But it's still interesting enough that I want to keep reading, I think. So I feel like if I get to the 50% mark and I'm still just completely lost, that I might just DNF it. Because I don't know. It's interesting, but it's not interesting enough at this point where I'm like, no, I think I'm going to finish it. I don't know yet. This is an interesting book. But right now, I think I'm going to try to edit a video, do my hair, and then probably do the dishes, and then maybe do some more reading. Maybe I'll listen to Bunny during the dishes, and then I want to pick up Crescent City today. So we'll see how this day goes. Hey guys, so it is Sunday night. I wanted to update you because I only have one more day left of this vlog. And I'm not sure that I'm gonna get everything done. So I got up to page like 100 and something of Bunny, and I honestly think I'm gonna go ahead and DNF it. It's just not my thing. I just don't feel like I'm vibing with it. On one hand, I really want to finish it because I kind of want to see like what's gonna happen, where is this going, but on the other hand, it's just so bizarre, and I just feel like that's not the kind of horror or comedy horror or books in general that I'm into. What I'm pretty positive is, and what ends up happening is that the bunnies are a cult. And the fact that Leah Dunham has a quote on the cover makes me feel like it's definitely a cult. Oh, my battery's dying. Hold on. Okay, so back to what I was saying. The fact that she quoted it makes me feel like it's definitely a cult. And I'm not trying to say that like only insane or not sane or people who don't have it all together would be tricked by a cult. Like it's very easy and a very slippery slope to get into this kind of stuff. I feel like this book does it a little bit more quickly, and we also don't have the full scope of the history of our main character because there's a lot of strange things that are happening that I don't feel like she is completely mentally well. Like, I almost feel like, is her best friend even a real person? Like, that's how I'm feeling. And, like, there's all these things that she brings up about, like, when she was writing and how she was very antisocial as a child, that, like, there may be something else going on with her. Like, she might be schizophrenic, maybe? I don't know. I really don't know. And now the more that I'm talking about this, the more that I kind of want to finish the book to find out what the heck is going on. So maybe I will finish it. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I want to DNF it, but I also kind of want to finish it just to find out what's going on. What's going on here, you know? So I don't know. I guess to be determined. So yeah, I guess that's up in the air. I was expecting just to tell you I'm DNFing it, but the more I talk about it, I kind of want to know what's going on. But at the same time, there's all these theories that people have of what's going on. So I feel like it's not going to be very clear. I feel like it's going to be just as confusing in the end as it is now. I don't know. All right, I guess we'll find out. I have gotten to page like 300 and something of Crescent City 2. I want to finish it by the end of tomorrow, but that seems really crazy because I'm really trying not to rush through this book. I really want to like savor it and soak it all in, but at the same time I also want to be done with it because I'm so scared of somebody spoiling something for me. I have yet to be spoiled for anything. All the people that I follow on Instagram, which is really the only social media that I use, there's only been one person so far who I've seen put any kind of spoiler, and they put like a very clear like Crescent City 2 spoilers ahead, feel free to skip. So I feel like the longer that I drag this book out, the more likely I'm going to come across a spoiler, but I don't know. And I will say too that a lot of people have been sharing Rune fan art, and wow, that's not what I was picturing, but wow, he's very good looking according to the fan art. So that's not what I'm picturing. I'm sure that is what's described, but I'm pretty terrible when it comes to character descriptions other than like the two main characters. And then after that, I'm usually like pretty, I just forget, don't pay attention, I don't know. So I think that is everything for this update. I am going to go take a shower and then get in bed, and I'm hoping to read some more of Crescent City. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to just stay off my phone and read some of Crescent City before going to bed. Last night I only got like 5 hours of sleep, and I was like pretty much dead earlier today, but I just got my second wind, so I'm going to try to read and then go to bed at hopefully a decent hour. And by decent hour, I mean it's already probably 11:30, and I'm hoping like 2-3 o'clock at the latest. But alright, I'm gonna go do all those things, and if anything, I will see you tomorrow or Tuesday to wrap up this vlog. I'll see you very soon. Hey guys, so it is time to finally wrap up this vlog. It's been a while. It's almost been a week since I last updated you, but that's okay. For the end of February, I did not finish another book. I have made some progress and I have made some decisions, but I haven't finished anything else. So I did make some progress with Crescent City. I got to page 366. By the end of February, I have since been reading it and I'm almost done. So I am going to immediately start my next vlog. So I will be finishing it in there. And then I have made a decision on Bunny. I know that I was going back and forth in the last clip of, am I DNFing it or am I just putting it off till later? I think I'm going to DNF it. It's not a hard DNF. I may get the urge to finish it later down the road. Like, I really want to know what happens, but every time I think about picking up the audiobook, I'm like, So I may just watch like some spoilery things and see what people's theories are. Like, it's just not the kind of stuff that I'm into, this like super kind of psychedelic, psychological kind of things where like you really don't know what's real and what's not. It has like a hint of magical realism, and yeah, I think it's just not for me, which is totally fine. I understand why people are obsessed with it, and I really wanted to finish it just because it talks about how it's so feminist, but yeah, I just don't really want to. So yeah, that is it for this vlog. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I definitely didn't reach my goal of 14 books for this month. I honestly don't know what I was thinking. I read 13 in January and it has 3 more days in it, and February was such a stressful month at work, and I also picked a lot of books that didn't have ebooks, so I couldn't read them while at work to try to fit in a couple extra pages when I could. So yeah, but I am so happy with what I got done. I finished 10 books this month, which I think is really good. But alright, I am going to start my next vlog and finally finish House of Sky and Breath. So keep an eye out for that. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, to please give it a thumbs up. Keep reading, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye! People say